Hey, so today we have another doujinshi review from White Album 2. Now this one's also very, very cool, so I'm excited to show you today. So this one is actually another vacation book. It talks about all the different locations in White Album 2, very similar to another doujinshi we reviewed recently. Now this one focuses on, of course, Vienna and Strasbourg, which were two of the most prominent places in the game in the closing chapter. So the title of this one is Let's Go Eat Frozen Oranges. It is White Album 2, Holy Land Pilgrimage. 2013 is when this trip took place, and it is the Kazusa route specialized version. So it does give a warning that it contains spoilers in this book, so if you haven't played all the way through, maybe skip out on this for now. Although I'm not going to be reading the contents because they're in Japanese, so you might be okay. So this was his trip through various different countries. Now there are 3 sections he lists kind of in the itinerary here. We have prep for departure. So the thing is you have to do by bus, by plane, getting the tickets. Then he talks a lot about his trip from Vienna to Vienna. And then lastly, it's Strasbourg. So very well laid out. Now this story, as opposed to the other pilgrimage book that we had learned, that book is actually this one. Here's our other pilgrimage book by Ushineko. But this one was actually a story about Toma and Setsuna. But this one is just about his journey, the author's journey, which makes it neat. It makes it interesting. So he goes in to explain in very, very full details how you can get the tickets, the best places to book, even the best airlines that you can take, ANA or JAL. He really, really goes into detail about how to do all this. Gives examples of the different kinds of hotels, trains, buses. It's definitely a lot different than the other book. It's very interesting, though. I would call this more of a travel guide, I guess, than anything. Very cool personal pictures, though, of the different trains and buses. Japanese people love trains and transportation in general. It's very important in the culture here. So he does go on with the different locations that he shows. He gives many different descriptions of, where did this exactly happen in the game? Was it a happy moment? Was it a sad moment? What were his thoughts? So it's not only describing the location, but also saying why he went there. And some of the specifics about the places, the cafes, the food that he tasted. It looks like such a fun trip. It looks like a blast. Oh, and he also does mention it was difficult because of the language barriers in both places, because he does not speak French. Very cool, though. What a cool experience. You have to be such a big fan to go through something like this, to go on an entire pilgrimage to different countries just for a game. I love that. I love that a lot. Oh, look at that train. Or the streetcar, I should say. Beautiful. Oh, and we're here in Strasbourg. And then he has Kazusa, her first line when she said, ah. So cute. And then here, Nihongo ka, like Japanese. But of course, there's no Japanese in Strasbourg. Oh, yeah. So this book is very, very cute. It has a couple of the lines from the game, just to give you some context of the places in case you can't recognize it from just the pictures, which is appreciated. Here's the famous street, the famous alley, the white trees. I want to go on a pilgrimage. This book is inspirational. It's very, very beautiful. and of course all the Christmas decorations. He planned his trip around the dates too, so he'd be able to experience the Christmas and the white snow, just like in the game. It's heartbreaking and beautiful, and I love it. And then lastly, he talks about omiyage, like the souvenirs that you can get, which is very, very important to Japanese culture. If you go on a trip and don't bring back a souvenir, your coworkers, friends will be very, very disappointed in you. So souvenir is extremely important. Beer is a good one. Beer, wine, snacks, and then little duck plushies. So cute. And then the afterward, just saying thank you so much for reading. He does recommend going on this trip, and he says if you do go on the trip, try to use this as a travel guide, and let him know on Twitter if you did follow this journey, basically. If you did go, he wants to compare experiences, which I think is super, super sweet. So that's him. And then just the contact info for that, the warning that it does contain spoilers. You can find him on Twitter, Dejimacom, or Dejimanohito, or Dejimanojin. So look him up. If you do decide to take a trip, hit him up on Twitter, even if it's in English. Japanese people have Google Translate, and I'm sure he would be super, super excited to talk to any of us. So that's it for our Let's Go Eat Frozen Oranges review. Thanks so much for joining today. Look forward to seeing you on the next review. Take care.